Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson. I was home on BrightShine right here in the city of Memphis in the county of the state of Tennessee. And today's date is early Monday morning, July the 20th, 2020. Time 4:40 a.m. First, say thank you to all my family, my support for your continued courage support. I continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. I'm continuing to further my education, Monroe College online, to continue to pursue my social degree study, being administrative contract tomorrow. At present time, took a break from home school, but in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College online to continue to pursue my social degree study, being administrative contract tomorrow. Now, today on today's video, we're gonna continue to work on the most important issue. At this point in time, Mr. Sam Cooke. Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case. Very important issue. Man who was there was no justification in the murder of Mr. Sam Cooke. First of all, it was not no justifiable homicide. That's a lie. And we're gonna have gotten a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy from Celebrity Archive. As I showed last weekend on my video last weekend. Matter of fact, I had Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy right here. But let me say this. I know this weekend I'm not going to spend as much time on Periscope and on Instagram. I'm going to spend more time on Facebook Live, and most likely it won't be no two YouTube video. More likely probably one video. Not intentional. All this week I've been having to go to work and running a lot of errands and all this stuff, so it's been kind of a hectic week and things of nature. But like I say, gonna address one of the most serious issues, which is getting justice for Mr. Sam Cooke and Mr. Sam Cooke's family, wife, and at the time Mr. Sam Cooke was married to Miss Barbara Campbell Cooke and his two beautiful daughters. Their two beautiful daughters, Miss Linda and Miss Tracy, and the grandchildren, and Mr. Sam Cooke's other children, and grandchildren, all the grandchildren, and Mr. Cooke's at the time mother and father was still alive, and Mr. Sam Cooke's sisters and brothers, and all the children, his nieces and nephews, and the children. It was wrong what that woman Bertha Franklin did. It was wrong, and I've shown it, and I'm going to continue to highlight the wrong that she has done, and that Eliza Boulder shouldn't have never even been allowed in the courtroom. As you can see, I showed it. Just a stupid person who didn't have any business in the courtroom, and now people see that you ain't had nothing to say. And nobody need to be worried about nothing that Eliza Boulder got to say, because you just a lie. You just a lie. That's all it is. And as for Bertha Frank, you're a damn murderer. And you thought you can get away with trying to find some kind of way to get out of a murder charge. That's what you tried to do. You tried to get out of a murder charge, and it didn't work. And so, like I said, I'm not going to spend as much time as I did last weekend on Periscope and on Instagram. But I'm going to spend more time on Facebook Live. But like I said, I'm going to do my Periscope video. It'll probably be 5, 10, no more than 15 minutes. And then I'm going to do my Instagram, same thing, about 5, 10 minutes. Then I'm going to go straight to Facebook Live, and I'm going to spend as much time as I can on Facebook Live. And we're going to get into Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case. But like I said, so what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go to Instagram. To Periscope first. Like I said, we're gonna go to my Periscope first, and like I said, I'm probably 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna do my Instagram, like I said, about 5 or 10 minutes. Then we're gonna go straight to Facebook Live. I'm gonna spend the majority of my time on Facebook Live, and we're gonna continue to go in depth into Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case, and we're going to expose the lies that Eliza Boza and Bertha Franklin, and as well as the people at that motel, the lies that you told. Mr. Sam Cooke was unjustly murdered by Bertha Franklin. So like I said, so like I said, I'm gonna do my Periscope. Then after about 5-10 minutes, then after I do my Periscope, I'm gonna do my Instagram. Probably about 5-10 minutes at the most. Then after that, I'm gonna do my Facebook Live, and we're gonna. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, County, and State of Tennessee. And the day and date is early Monday morning, July the 20th, 2020, time 4:51 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support, for continue to support, and anti-gang. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logos. Now, I want you to remember these words: coercion, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, and psychological abuse. Now, first, always give thanks to God for all the blessing and guidance that He provides us with. And like I say, always put God first. And thank God for all the blessing and guidance that He provides us all with. And on today's Periscope video, I'm not gonna spend as much time on my Periscope video today. Probably about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm gonna do my Instagram video, same thing, about 5-10 minutes. But I'm gonna go to my Facebook Live and spend the majority of my time on Facebook Live, and we're gonna continue to address the issue of Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case, the unjust. There was no justifiable homicide. Mr. Sam Cooke was unjustly murdered by this stupid woman, Bertha Franklin, and so-called Eliza Bolden, as you can see, started getting into the case, and just a liar. Some stupid girl who was trying to hang out at the club and at the bar and all this kind of stuff, but totally unjustified. Mr. Sam Cooke should have never been murdered. Should have never been murdered. It was totally unjust. Totally unjust. Now, like I said, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy. Got it in the mail from Celebrity Archive. So as you can see, Mr. Sam Cooke's, I was talking the coroner's report, the inquiry, the inquest, and as you can see, like I said, Eliza Boulder should have never even been allowed in the courtroom. She's a liar. Don't even have to worry about that stupid girl. And then Bertha Franklin tried to get out of a murder charge by trying to claim that Mr. Sam Cooke bust the door down and thought you could make a fool out of everybody. And talking about told the latch off the door and all that, and thought you can get out of a murder charge. No, it don't go that way. It don't go that way. You're a murderer. Bertha Franklin is a murderer. And she ain't getting away with it. You ain't getting away with unjustly murdering Mr. Sam Cooke. Mr. Sam Cooke should have never, ever been murdered. And the things that people did out on the street, that's where that Eliza Bozer came from. See, that's where all that came from. See, it was wrong what people did in the community out on the street. So, but like I said, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on my Periscope this week. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna go ahead and end my Periscope video and go to my Instagram video. Probably about 5-10 minutes, and go to my Facebook Live. So. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logos. And like I said, I'm gonna get ready to end today's Periscope video, and I'm gonna go to my Instagram video. Now after I do my Instagram video and do my Facebook Live, my YouTube channel is recorded. And so again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also on BrightShine. Live right here in the city of Memphis, in the township, is in the state of Tennessee. Thank all my fans, my support, for your continued care and support. And take care of yourself. Until next time, always put God first. Always put God first. just ended my Periscope video, and so now I'm doing my Instagram video. Then after I do my Instagram video, I'm gonna do my Facebook Live video. It's a few minutes after 5. All right, let's go to it. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also on BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, in the state of Tennessee. The day is early Monday morning, July the 20th, 2020, time 5:02 a.m. First, I thank all my famous support for your continued current support. Anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. I want you to remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, and psychological abuse. I just did my Periscope video, and like I said today, I'm not gonna spend as much time on my Periscope video and on my Instagram video. So like I said, I did my Periscope video. I think it was like 9 minutes. And like I said, my Instagram video, I'm not gonna spend as much time on my Instagram video. After I do my Instagram video, I'm doing my Facebook Live video. Now my YouTube channel is recording, and it'll most likely be one YouTube channel today, one YouTube video today. Won't be a part 1, part 2, but what we're gonna continue to put emphasis on is addressing the issue of Mr. Sam Cooke, who was unjustly murdered by this stupid woman, Bertha Franklin. Now, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy, the coroner's report, and as you know, that is the state Supreme Court, and you know the appeals court, that is the court for the state of California. And Mr. Sam Cooke was not represented in a courtroom as he should have been. And Bertha Franklin was not put in the penitentiary as she should have, and all the other things that have taken place over the years shouldn't have. But like I said, I'm going to continue to work toward getting justice for Mr. Sam Cooke and his family at the time. Mr. Sam Cooke was married to Miss Barbara Campbell Cooke. His two beautiful daughters, Melinda and Tracy. Mr. Sam Cooke, other children, and all the grandchildren. Mr. Sam Cooke, at the time, his mother and father were still alive. Mr. Sam Cooke's sisters and brothers, and all Mr. Sam Cooke's nieces and nephews, and his close friends. Mr. Sam Cooke should have never been murdered. It was wrong, and Mr. Sam Cooke will get justice in the courtroom. We'll get justice in the courtroom. based on the information that's provided in the coroner's report. As you can see, Eliza Bowie should have never even been allowed in the courtroom. That stupid girl should have never even been allowed in the courtroom. She's a liar, and I have shown that, and I'm gonna continue. Don't come up, don't play with me. And as for this Bertha Frank trying to get out of a murder charge by trying to say that Mr. Sam Cooke told her to latch off the door and all that, it don't work. It don't work. You can't get out of a murder charge by trying to claim Mr. Sam Cooke tore the door down. It don't work. It don't work. It don't work. Bertha Franklin gonna be charged with first degree murder like she should have been, and that we're gonna continue to work on. And like I said, I won't gonna spend too much time on my Periscope video and Instagram. We're gonna spend more majority of my time on my Facebook Live. Like I say, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy note, the coroner report from Celebrity Archive. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design website that you can go to make anti-game logo. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and end my Instagram video and go to my Facebook live video. Like I said, my YouTube channel is recording, and so again, always put God first. Always put God first. Thank God for all the blessings and guidance that He provides us always. Always put God first. And again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, Shelby, state of Tennessee. I thank all my family, my support for the continued encouragement support. And like I said, I'm finna go as soon as I end my Instagram video, I'm gonna do my Facebook live video. I already did my Periscope video, and my YouTube channel is recording. And so let's go there. Now, I just ended my Instagram video, and before I did my Instagram video, like I said, I did my Periscope. And the reason why I keep saying, because I know people will watch my YouTube channel, and I don't want them to miss anything because it's too important. So I'm trying to make sure that people be aware of what's going on my YouTube channel. I did my Periscope video first, it wasn't 10 minutes long. I did my Periscope video, and I just did my Instagram video. It wasn't even 10 minutes long either. And so now I'm doing my Facebook live video, and I'm spending the majority of my time on my Facebook live video. So just give me a brief moment, here. Now, let's go to Facebook Live. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, County, Sheriff, the state of Tennessee. And today's date is early Monday morning, July the 20th, 2020. The time 5:18 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your team, club support. Anti-gang. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. Now, I want you to remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, and psychological abuse. First, always put God first. Always give thanks to God for all the blessings and the guidance that God provides us all with. Put God first. Now, I just did my Instagram video. It was about 10 minutes long. And before I did my Instagram video, I did my Periscope video. It wasn't even 10 minutes long. And so, like I'm not gonna spend as much time on my Periscope video, and my Instagram video this week, and this weekend, and I've been working and been kind of a hectic week this week, and so I'm gonna spend the majority of my time on my Facebook Live video today, and so gonna continue to put emphasis and continue to work on the most important issue, which is Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case. And Mr. Sam Cooke was unjustly murdered by this stupid woman, Bertha Franklin. And it was not no justifiable homicide. You can't get out no murder charge by claiming Mr. Sam Cooke tore the door down. And this stupid girl, Eliza Boza, as you see, completely lied and exposed the lies that she was telling, and so she shouldn't even been allowed in the courtroom. And I'm going to continue to expose and continue to address the lies that Eliza Boza told, and I'm not going to even be a problem in Mr. Sam Cooke murder case. Mr. Sam Cooke was not represented in the courtroom as he should have been. Mr. Sam Cooke is entitled to an appeal, like any and everybody else. Mr. Sam Cooke got rights, just like any and everybody else. Just like any and everybody else, Mr. Sam Cooke got rights, and Mr. Sam Cooke's rights were violated, and you don't get away with violating another human being's rights, another citizen's rights, and the crime that was committed against Mr. Sam Cooke. It wasn't just at the motel, it was out on the street. See, that's where that Eliza Bosa came from, out on the street. And so, the wrong that people out on the street have done, yeah, you try to do the same thing in the courtroom, and then you didn't get away with it. And that's the reason why I do the things I do, because you're not gonna get away with lying and committing a crime such as murdering Mr. Sam Cooke, and then have the nerve to make it sound like you tried to brag about it. Well, it was wrong, and I'm gonna continue to work toward justice for Mr. Sam Cooke. And at the time, Mr. Sam Cooke was married to his wife, Miss Barbara Campbell Cooke, and their two beautiful daughters, Linda and Tracy, and Mr. Sam Cooke's other children, and all the grandchildren. And at the time, Mr. Sam Cooke's mother and father was still alive, and Mr. Sam Cooke's sister and brothers, and all Mr. Sam Cooke's nieces and nephews, and all the children. Mr. Sam Cooke will get justice in the court. Mr. Sam Cooke will get justice in the court. And we're going to expose that Eliza Bosa for being a liar and a criminal. And Bertha Franklin gonna be held accountable and responsible for the crime that she committed, murdering Mr. Sam Cooke. You don't get out, like I said, you ain't gonna get away with trying to claim Mr. Sam Cooke tore the latch off the door and think you won't get out of murder trial. You don't know. You don't work that way. You don't work that. You're not that smart, and I'm not that dumb. You know what I'm saying? And so, let's go to it. Now, like I say, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy report, the coroner's report. And I got it from Celebrity Archive, $25. So like as you can see, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cook autopsy report, and I'm glad I have a copy of it, which is the coroner's report. The autopsy is the coroner's report, and the inquest. And like I said, that stupid girl, Eliza Bowden, as you can see, she's a liar, and try and just basically your life, and you won't be allowed to come up in the courtroom with that plan. And as also Bertha Franklin, as you can see, you don't get out of no murder charge. Talking about Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down. It don't work that way. You not that smart, and I'm not that dumb, and you ain't getting away with it. Now, now this is a map of all the people on the earth. This is a world map, all the people on the earth. Now this is the Albanian language map. And now this is a Baltic language map. And this is the Greek language map. And this is a Slavic language map. And this is the Altaic language map. And this is the Euro-Altaic language map. And this is a Romanian language map. Now, the Romanian language is a Latin Romance language. And Romania, in the Romanian language known as Balachia. Now this is a map of the languages of Africa. And this is a map of the languages of Africa. And this is a map of the languages of Africa. And this is the Afro-Asiatic language distribution map. And this is the Afro-Asiatic language distribution map. And this is a Nilo-Saharan language distribution map. And this is a Nilo-Saharan language distribution map. And this is a Niger-Congo language distribution map. And this is a Niger-Congo language distribution map. Now, the title of this book, West African Traditional Religion, it was written by Dr. Joseph Omuseni Walego, Dr. P. Adenumo Pegman. And the title of this book, African Traditional Religion Definition, written by Dr. E. Baloja Adowu. And the title of this book, African Religion and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M.B. And the title of this book, Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M.B. Now, Webster's Sterling International Dictionary gives you the complete total definition meaning of the word gang. The act, manner, or means of going. Now, this stupid sorority and that stupid fraternity going around calling themselves sister and brother in Latin. And see, there's a lot of celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers. You know, they join the sorority and fraternity. You understand? And see, the so-called Catholic Church and all that particular churches and all them Protestant Reformation Movement churches, 95 Thesis churches. And seeing all that stuff about the American Restoration Movement, the Stone Campbell Movement, the so-called Church of Christ. No such thing as a Church of Christ. See, that was the sorority fraternity because of that literature, that occult literature. And seeing all that stuff about the so-called blood gang, the Crip gang, and so-called Bloodstone, Villain Line, all this stuff. Ain't nothing, all lies. And see, they trying to depend on the sorority fraternity. But like I've been saying all the time, look, the people at the United States Justice Department, they college educated. They college educated. You can't even get a job in the United States government, the Homeland Security, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, without having a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD. That occult literature, it ain't nothing. See, it ain't nothing that the Justice Department don't know. They know. And see, like I've been saying all the time, report these people to the Justice Department, to the FBI. Report their ass to the FBI. Oxford English Dictionary gives you complete total definition and meaning of the word gang. Action or mode of going, way past a set of things or person. Now that stupid sorority and that stupid fraternity, calling themselves sister and brother in Latin. Now, a lot of celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers, like I said, they became members, they joined the sorority fraternity. You understand? And they try to, they also be calling themselves a blood and the blood gang, the Crip gang, and the Bloodstones and the Limestone, all that kind of nonsense. Look, the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Homeland Security, you can't even get a job without going to college. You have to have a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD to work as a federal agent. See, sorority fraternity ain't nobody. They ain't nothing. Bunch of criminals. That's all they are, criminals. Making up all that damn literature. All that occult literature. See, like I said, the people that work in the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, the Justice Department, Homeland Security, you can't even get a job without having a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, and that so-called literature. They know about it. The so-called Masons and the Rosicrucians and all that other nonsense, all that other junk that you be making up. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Justice Department, they know about it. They know about it. The so-called sorority fraternity, they ain't know about it. A bunch of damn criminals. See, the East Coast bitch. So you're a bunch of cowboy ass bitches going around trying to claim the East Coast from the state of Maine all the way down to the state of Florida, using that occult literature. Like I said, the Justice Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, they know about it. That so-called literature you be trying to make up. You ain't know about it. You ain't impressing nobody. You ain't going on the line. Now, the United States government enacted the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970 and Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. The RICO Act is anti-gang. And also the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act 1970, Control Substance Act, Psychotropic Substance Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, Kingpin is all anti-gang. The Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. Then you have other related legislation, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang List, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and the Comprehensive Gang Law, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Bureau of Justice System, the Office of Justice Program, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice System, the United States Department of Justice, Comprehensive Anti-Gang List, and Project St. Neighborhood, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Community-Oriented Police to serve the Comprehensive Anti-Gang List, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice System, and Narcotic Law Enforcement, Fire, the United States Department of State, Institute for Intergovernmental Fire Gang Education Training, the GREAT program. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, in October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which has been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which has been funded by the Bureau of Justice System in 2003. The National Gang Center compilation state laws against gangs. Gang Prevention Overview Research Program. Mr. James Allen, Office of Juvenile Justice Inspector, the United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Prevention, National Gang Center Book for History Street Gangs in the United States. And you can also go to the quick reference, Wikipedia, and you find the same information in the title gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice, Office of the United States Attorney, Man 1457 Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521. The United States Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center. The United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section. You have other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategy. Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, United States Department of Health and Human Services, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Changing Course, Preventing Gang Membership, and also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice, United States Department of Education, United States Department of Health and Human Services, United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention Forum. You can go to youth.gov and be informed about the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention Forum, as well as the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Use and Comprehensive Gang Law. The United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council. Keep kids out of gangs. You can also, the United States Department of Justice, hazing is a crime. And you can go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. Now, this is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. For example, state name: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North, South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. And scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says see also, and you'll see a list of place names of indigenous origin in America. Now, piracy and them pirates, that's that occult literature. Now, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Prevention, the Bureau of Justice System, the National Gang Center Bulletin, and the title of the bulletin, History of Street Gangs in the United States, written by Mr. James Allen, Mr. John P. Moore. Now you can find that same information on the quick reference, Wikipedia, and it'll be titled Gangs in the United States. Now, whatever you do, don't negate the history. The pre-13 colony history. Don't negate the pre-13 colony history. Whatever you do, it's important as you can remember the piracy and pirates, and go all the way back to the first century and all that. History before the 13 colonies is very, very important. Now, Harvard University, the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693, second oldest institute of higher learning in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December 5, 1776, the College of William and Mary recognized the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Phi, first sorority founded in 1851, West Hancock, Macon, Georgia. First organization of Dr. Word sorority with Gamma Phi Beta established on November 11, 1874, Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. The first women's fraternity was at DePaul College, 18 so. Now, the basis of the sorority fraternity from old world secret society, from Africa, from Asia, from Europe. For example, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, talking about Euclid and mathematician being an Alexander Eve, 1390, 1425, mentioned the Holloway manuscript, reads the poem, the Cook manuscript, and the Downing manuscript. Now, examples of them old world secret societies from Africa, from Asia, from Europe. Skull and Bone, Rosecruz, Sons, Living Thug, Side, Private Side, on the Ordo Temple Orient, Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Woodman. The ancient Arabic order of the Nose and Miss Shrine, Grove Order, Red, Peon Sisterhood, East Star, Freemason, the Elks, Loyal Order, Moose, Bitterberg, Ku Klux Klan, Knights of Pathan, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, Far Side, Hermetic Order of the Gold Dawn, the Vista Order of Baal, Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, United Ancient Order of Jewelry, National Grant, the Ancient Order of Urban Names, the Opus Dei, the Knights Templar, the Scottish Rite, the Spanish Carduna, the Carbonari, the Black Hand. You say Mafia, the Afro-Asiatic, you say Costa Nostra, the Latin, the Triad, the Yakuza, the Osiris. Now, when it comes to street slang, for example, gang plus stir and mob plus stir, Merriam-Webster stir, New MS Dictionary, and Oxford English Dictionary give you clean total definition meaning of the word gang plus stir, mob plus stir. You have other street slang. Boss, goon, thug, crook, cooler, Mac, player, pimp, boy, hustle, nigga, field nigga, house nigga. You have street slang for music, hip hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, funk, doo-wop, bebop, and street slang. You have street slang for money. Currency exchange, bucks, rack, stack, band, bread, dough, scram, blue, move, Benjamin, dead, president, street slang. Ain't nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now, when it comes to that sorority and fraternity, the United States Department of Justice, hazing of crime. In the sorority and fraternity, they use hazing in the initiation ritual. It's a crime, they're criminals. See, a lot of celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainment, they joined, they became members of the sorority and fraternity. And they go around calling themselves a blood in the crib, go around calling themselves a bloodstone, their limestone. And then you have all this Catholic church and all that particular church, and then you have all these Protestant Reformation Movement Church, United Baptist Church, that is the Catholic Church. And then you have all this American Restoration Movement, Stone Temple Movement, Church of Christ. No such thing as a Church of Christ. And that's all. And that was just all. The American Restoration Movement, Stone Temple Movement is still the Catholic Church. And see, all these celebrity athletes, celebrity anything, that's why they go to these places, because of their occult literature. Because they're cultists. You see, the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Homeland Security, You can't even get a job by having a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, and sorority fraternity. Ain't nobody trying to go around on the street trying to influence people talking about they've been to college. See, all they doing is lying, they criminals. Trying to use that occult to see the Department just they know about all this literature, all these lies that people make up. Now, the sorority fraternity, they commit crime on and off the campus. They use and abuse tobacco products. They indulge in gambling, games, chance. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activity. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. So don't let the sorority fraternity mislead you. All these persons that initially started the sorority fraternity renounced it and denounced the whole concept and idea of a sorority fraternity. And the sorority fraternity, they work in their manage the business and companies and corporations. They use and misuse the background check. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocity, violation of human rights, civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, groundwater, and noise pollution. They destroy the environment, nature, and wildlife. So don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Call the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. These so-called celebrity athletes, celebrities, call the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Justice. They ain't nobody. They ain't no damn body talking they went to college. Yeah, the people at the Justice Department went to college. Now this is the International Bill of Human Rights. This is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. This is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Also, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline Defenders, Human Rights Right Frontier, International for Human Rights, Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Board, Earth Watch Institute, Conservation Association, Earth Justice Conservation Volunteer, Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, the Biodiversity Service Association, Breast Species Conservation, Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the Illinois Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, and the Rainforest Action Network. Biodiversity International Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace and Nature Conserve, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Ocean and Preservation Society, Ocean Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. Now this is the Catholic Church, not that particular church. They mean using that occult literature. Call the FBI. There ain't no damn back. Call the FBI. The Protestant Reformation Movement Church, 95 Thesis. That's the Catholic Church, not that particular church. There ain't no back. They be using that occult literature. Call the FBI. The American Restoration Movement, the Stone Counter Movement, that is the Catholic Church. And all they got is the Church of Christ. There's no such thing as the Church of Christ. Call the FBI. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, a lying, murdering devil. He was an occultist. He wrote all those epistles in the New Testament, and the man-made religion organization be using those epistles. It's Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul wrote. They all lied. For example, Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the Holy Ghost. The church, they put the suffix ES on the end. So Christ salute you. Another example, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in the church with the suffix ES. O God, for your patient favor, all the persecuted, tribulation, they ye endure. Now, devil worship, Satanism, is no such thing as devil worship. It's religious persecution. Theism, Satanism, atheism is no such thing. There's no such thing as religious persecution. Religious persecution. sorority and fraternity. The sorority and fraternity. The alumni. You see the word cult at the top. That's what that is. Because see, they think they know every damn thing. They don't know every damn thing. Now, this is the occult literature. Western esotericism, esotericism, Western mystery tradition, Hermetism, Gnosticism, Neoplatonism, Rosicrucianism. Now the Freemason and the Eastern Star, Asian enlightenment, spiritualism, Kabbalah. See, that was the East Coast beach, going up and down the East Coast, from the state of Maine all the way down to the state of Florida, call themselves trying to use some occult literature to influence other people out on the street, the sorority and the fraternity. Yeah, man, I went to college. I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree, I know what I'm talking about. Hell, the people at the Justice Department went to college. The FBI, Homeland Security. Hell, the people at the United Nations. Make them call them microcosm of arcane and occult. See, that's the occult literature. They say, call the FBI. Call the FBI. Now, occultism. The word occult and arcane. Don't forget the words. Esoteric, spiritualism, theosophy, anthroposophy, hermetic order, and gone down new age. Call the FBI. Call the FBI. The Federal Bureau of Investigation had these people answering this. See, that occult literature is nothing. That occult literature is nothing. See, God's word in the Holy Bible. That occult literature is nothing. Now, when you go to the Holy Bible and you turn to the Old Testament and you turn to the 5 books of Moses, you turn to the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verses 1 through 17, the 10 Commandments. Now, starting in verse number 1, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God. When God tell you I'm your God, it ain't no such thing as no literature. You don't live by any others except by God's word. See, you be lying. See, you base your life on God's word. You don't listen to no occult literature. And see, in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1 through 17, the 10 Commandments, God told you 5 times in the verses 1 through 12, the first 12 verses, God told you 5 times, I am the Lord thy God. I'm your God. And you don't listen to nobody but me. See, God told you in the 5 books of Moses, you don't do that. That divination and all that sorcery and witchcraft and necromancy and all that idol worship and sacrificing to the devil. God told you, don't do that. God told you, don't do that. Don't do it. It's wrong. Then God told you the same thing in the New Testament. Turn to the New Testament, the book of Matthew. Chapter 22. The book of Matthew, chapter 22, we're going to read verses 35 through 40. We can also go to the book of Mark, chapter 12, verses 28 through 31. We can also go to the book of Luke, chapter 10, verses 25 through 28. And that's the greatest commandment in the law. And it reads, we in the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verses 35 through 40. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, thy God, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy mind. Now, Jesus just told you the same thing that God told you in the Old Testament. That I am the Lord thy God. And this is a commandment in the New Testament. Thou shalt love the Lord on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Thy God. Jesus tell you, when I tell you that I am thy God, there's no such thing as no occult literature. You don't listen to any other except God. And to love God with all your heart. See, the Old Testament, the 5 books of Moses. See, the things that God told you in the Old Testament, 5 books of Moses, and the other books. See, you believe that it's true. That's the same God. And to love God with all your soul. When Jesus Christ tell you to repent of your sin, you take the communion, you get baptized, you do what Jesus Christ told you. You believe that he was born into the world of a virgin. All those prophecies, you believe that Jesus Christ fulfilled those prophecies. You believe that there's a heaven and a hell. You love God with all your soul. Then you love God with all your mind. Don't fornicate. Don't commit adultery. Don't lie. Or bear false witness against your neighbor. Don't kill. And again, the greatest commandment law, you can read it in Matthew chapter 22, verse 35 to 40, Mark chapter 12, verses 28 through 31, and Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 28. And also, Jesus said in verse 38, this is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. forget to study the first century. Don't forget to study the first century. Now, I'm going to continue to study the ancient peoples in the Bible. The Amorites, they were Afro-Asiatic people. The Egyptians, they were Afro-Asiatic people. The Amalekites, they were supposed descendants of Esau. Now the Kenites, they were a nomadic tribe in the ancient Levant. Now they said Moses' father-in-law was a Kenite. The Canaanites, ancient people. The Kenizzites, ancient people. They say Jupiter, father of the Israelite leader Caleb, is called a Kenizzite. The Hittites, Indo-European. The Perizzites, ancient people. The Rephaims, they were also known as Rephaite and Zanzuna Emil. They were ancient people. They were considered giants. Canaanites, Canaan, son of Ham, grandson of Noah. Canaanite, an ethnic catch-all term covering various indigenous populations, both settled and nomadic pastoral roots throughout southern Levant and Canaan. The Girgasites, they were descendants of Canaan. The Jebusites, Jebus. The Hittites and the Horites and the Horians. The Moabites, they were Afro-Asiatic. The Midianites, they were Afro-Asiatic. And the Ammonites, they were Afro-Asiatic. I said, that occult news is nothing. It's nothing. It ain't nothing. That occult news is nothing. Jesus told you in the New Testament. And again, that occult literature is nothing. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. That East Coast bitch, the so-called sorority fraternity, the so-called celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainer, calling themselves a blood in a crib, man, going around calling themselves a bloodstone belly. You ain't nothing. You ain't nobody. You're a coward ass bitch. You're a coward ass bitch, just like I've been saying. Damn hoes walking around. And then these bitches going around crying. You not showing me respect. Well, you ain't no damn body. You're a coward ass bitch. A bitch ass cow. Trying to claim the East Coast from the state of Maine all the way down to the state of Florida. Talking about some occult literature. Well, I showed it to you, and I've been showing it to you, and I'm going to keep showing it to you, that you're a damn liar. You're a damn liar. There's no such thing. There's no occult literature. There's no such thing. There's no occult literature. See, God's word is the only thing that man live by. It's God's word. You don't live by no occult literature. Now, Mr. Sam Cook's coroner's report. As you know, Mr. Sam Cook was murdered, and he was shot, and the bullet he went from his left side, hit his lung, and the bullet went from the lung, from the left lung, went to his heart, and then it exited his heart and went into his right lung, and then went out his right side. Now, as you know, Miss Bertha Franklin she shot Mr. Cook, and then police, were notified. Now, the police officer that she told it to testified that Bertha Franklin was on the telephone. She stated approximately 2:35 a.m. on that day the deceased and a later friend had checked in at the motel. Approximately 20-25 minutes later, while Ms. Franklin was having a telephone conversation with a friend, she received a knock on the door, which was the deceased, asking if his later friend was inside. See, we're dealing with the intent. See, which is very important. In a court case, the intent that will make a case. It don't make no difference if you got robbery, burglary, rape, murder. The intent. What was your intent? See, that's the case. See, that's the case. And now you want to say, oh, okay, what was Bertha Franklin's intent? That was the intent, to murder Mr. Sam Cook. Because see, for you to accuse, you have to look at what these people trying to do. You trying to accuse Mr. Cook of coming over there to the motel and then bringing this stupid girl, Eliza Bowles, over there. It's like you trying to say he tried to use this girl to come over to. There's no reason for Mr. Cook to bring this Eliza Bowles girl over to this motel and then get into a fight after they had sex. Come on now. Now look. You can't come up in the courtroom with this damn fairy tale stuff. Now you claim that the district attorney and all these other people are professionals, and that you have qualifications, that you have experience. You done dealt with these cases before, murder cases, rape cases. See, you can't come up in this courtroom as if the state Supreme Court ain't dealt with violent crime before. Now coming up in here talking about Bertha Franklin and trying to accuse Mr. Sam Cook of trying to commit a crime against her. Ain't gonna. See, this is the reason why I've been saying Mr. Sam Cook was not properly represented in a court of law. You don't let Bertha Franklin get away with saying anything in a court of law. You don't let her get away with saying nothing as if what you did was right. See, that's what I've been having a problem with. You make it sound like you know what you're talking about, and like can't nobody come in the courtroom and refute things you don't know what you're talking about. First of all, you don't know nothing about the damn law. You're just a manager at a motel. You have, just like the general public, you have general knowledge. You done heard things on the news like indictment, murder, rape, burglary, all right. You done heard these words before. Guilty, not guilty. You done heard some words before. But knowing the specifics of the law, you don't have no law degree, and Eric Dwayne Johnson don't have no law degree either. I got common sense, and I damn well don't want to be standing around talking about you the manager of no hotel, no motel, and then talking about you killed Sam Cook. Sam Cook ain't had no intent on coming over there to get into no fight. Sam Cook was trying to have sex with a woman, and that's what he needed. Him and this woman had issues. She stole his clothes. Now she said some stuff she wasn't supposed to. She tried to make it sound like somebody forced her. He said, no. It's in the report. Sam ain't being not like that. You had sex. sympathy. And Bertha Franklin trying to claim that Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down. And let me see here. It says here in the report, it said approximately 20 to 25 minutes later, while Miss Franklin was having a telephone conversation with a friend, she received a knock on the door, just like I've been saying. Mr. Sam Cook knocked on the door, which was the deceased asking if his lady friend was inside. That's all he was trying to do. He was trying to find Miss Bowser. That's all he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to get no fight. See, this the intent. And Miss Franklin stated no, she was not. And at that time, the deceased left. And Miss Franklin continued her phone call with her friend. Shortly after, a very few minutes, as a matter of fact, Miss Franklin stated that she heard a car drive from the rear portion of the motel parking lot to the front and stopped. And again, the deceased came to the door and started pounding and shouting and asking if his lady friend was inside. And again, Miss Franklin stated she was not. Now, being a manager of the hotel and you talking on the phone, you have a responsibility to see what's going on. Now, in the coroner's report, it said Mr. Sam Cook, he had some alcohol. They did a toxicology, 0.14% alcohol in his system. And the coroner testified there's a possibility Mr. Sam Cook's judgment could have been affected with 0.14%. It don't matter if you had one shot of alcohol, you had alcohol in your system. You had alcohol in your system. If you didn't have alcohol in your system, but you did. Mr. Sam Cook had alcohol in his system. Now we can sit around and talk about the percentage, but the point is this: if you didn't have alcohol in your system, but you did, Mr. Sam Cook had 0.14%, judgment was affected. Driving a car and all this, okay. It says that Mr. Sam Cook came to the door and started pounding and shouting and asking if his lady friend, he's still looking for his lady friend. See, this is the intent. You can't get out no murder charge by trying to tell the jury that Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down and started a fight with me. Mr. Sam Cook ain't starting a fight with you. See, did what you did. See, this is what Bertha Franklin did. And again, Ms. Franklin said she was not at this time. Now look at what Mr. Sam Cook, now this is what the police said. The deceased broke the door down. Yeah, he broke the door. Look at what Mr. Cook did though. See, this is the intent of Mr. Cook. The deceased broke the door open and both locks. Walked in past Miss Franklin. Past Miss Franklin. Past Miss Franklin. He went right past Miss Franklin. Checking the other rooms of her living quarters. And coming back in, shouted and hollered to her, asking her where his lady friend was at. Still trying to find out about this one. See, there's no intent for Mr. Cook to try to start a fight with Miss Franklin. It's right here in front of you. At this time, Miss Franklin stated he became more violent and grabbed her. At this time, they struggled and she managed to get hold of her gun and shot the deceased. After laying her gun down, the deceased continued to struggle somewhat, and Miss Franklin stated she then picked up a stick laying nearby and hit him on the head. At that time, he continued to fall to the floor and the police were notified. Now, just because Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down, that ain't no reason for you to shoot Mr. Sam Cook. He walked right past you, and at that time, you didn't grab your gun. Pay attention. Pay attention now. See, Mr. Cook went past her, and see, and when he walked past her, she ain't thought nothing about shooting Mr. Cook. See, she ain't even paying attention to the fact that he tore the door down. When she seen that Mr. Sam Cook walked past her and went and checked the other room, she said that when he became violent, he started hollering and became violent, and then he grabbed her. See, you ain't thought nothing about the door being torn down. See, this is what you said. You said at this time, Miss Franklin stated he became more violent, and then he grabbed her. Then they struggled. So, the fact that Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down, you ain't thought nothing about the door. Because when Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down, what did he do? He walked past Miss Franklin. He didn't even say nothing to you. See, this is what's so important about the intent. Mr. Sam Cook still talking about Eliza Bowden. He walked right past Franklin. He didn't say nothing to her. He looking for this woman. He tore the door down. Yeah, he tore the door down. Yeah, broke the locks. Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down, looking for Eliza Bowden. But look what Mr. Cook did. Look what Mr. Cook did. Pay attention to the evidence. Mr. Cook, yes, he tore the door down. Look what he did. Mr. Sam Cook did see broke the door open and both locks and walked in past. So how your life in danger? How your life in danger? He walked past Miss Franklin, checking the other rooms of her living quarters. He walked right past. He looking for Miss Bowden. And coming back in, shouted and hollering to her, asking her where his lady friend was at. Yeah, Mr. Sam Cook tore the door down, broke the lock, broke the hinges and all that, bust the window and all that. He walked right past Miss Franklin. He walked right past. There was no intent. There was no intent on Mr. Sam Cook to have a problem with Miss Franklin. Now, being that she's a manager, the way you handle this situation, that don't mean that what you did was right. That don't mean that what you did was right. Don't try to justify her actions. No, you the manager. When Miss Sam Cook came to the door, first time out the door, you didn't try to talk to Miss Sam Cook. You didn't try to see what's going on. You just continue to talk on the phone, running your mouth. That's all you were concerned about. That's all you were concerned about. That's all you were concerned about. Talking on the phone. Talking, yeah, girl. You know. What's up? Miss Sam Cook. What my lady friend is. Miss Sam Cook tore the door down. Walk right past. Walk right past. Looking in the room, he ain't seen Miss Bowden. So he trying to find out where she is. See, at that point, as a manager, you're supposed to be experienced enough to know how to, that I'm dealing with a person, handle alcohol. Him and this woman has some issues. So possibly maybe I need to, just talk to him and see what the problem is. I'm the manager. Did she do something to him? Did she commit a crime against him? The man ain't got no pants on. He ain't got no shoes on. Wouldn't you be concerned? Trying to find out what the hell going on in my motel? See, you have a responsibility or obligation as a manager. See, it's a crime that's been committed against Mr. Sam Cook on the motel property. See, for all we know, NBC, Mr. Sam Cook don't know what you involved in. See, he don't know what you involved in. He really don't. He don't know. Eliza Bolden stole his clothes. He don't know what you doing. That's the reason why he opened the door. He had to break the door down. He had to be sure that she wasn't in that color. I don't know. She could have been in there hiding. We don't know. So he had to find out. But see, on your part, that when you were wrong as a manager. See, you escalated the whole situation. And there again, the intent, Mr. Sam Cook ain't had no intent on hurting you. See, this is how you escalated the situation. And your intent was to hurt Mr. Sam Cook. Your intent was to hurt Mr. Sam Cook. And that what you did, you killed the man. Murder. It was murder. That what you did, you murdered Mr. Sam Cook for no reason. For no reason. Here's a man, okay, a little irrational, had a little alcohol in his system, him and some woman. There ain't no reason for you to kill nobody. There ain't no reason for you to kill Mr. Cook. Don't even, from this point on, don't even try to make it sound like you had a reason to kill him. There wasn't no reason for you to kill Mr. Cook. You just didn't handle the situation right. That's what this is. You didn't handle it right. As a manager, you didn't handle it right. And you overreact. You overreact. And to be honest with you, ain't show no concern. You ain't care. Girl, what? Somebody knocking on what? No, she ain't out here. A girl, oh damn, here he come again. What time is it? Okay. But like I said, we get into the heart of it. We get into the heart of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the whole case is about. Mr. Sam Cook was murdered, and she tried to claim that Mr. Sam Cook told her daughter, yeah. As you can see, Mr. Sam Cook told the door down. And when he told the door down, what did he do? Mr. Sam Cook walked right past. He walked right past you. He walked right past you and started looking around. He ain't touch you. He did not touch you. You see it yourself. He didn't touch me. He walked past me and started looking around. He's looking for that woman. And ain't no intent. You ain't had no reason to kill Mr. Cook. You ain't had no reason to kill Mr. Cook. You overreacting, and you didn't handle the situation professionally. That was unprofessional as a manager of a motel. You ain't handle it right. You escalated the situation. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna stay on this. We're gonna come back. I ain't done. As you can see, Eliza Bolden. She ain't no factor. As you can see, she ain't no factor. She just some stupid girl said a bunch of nonsense. She had sex. Went in the bathroom. Mr. Sam Cook waiting on me to get out of the bathroom. He went in the bathroom. I took his clothes and all that. Man, come on, man. We're gonna come back. But I want to deal with that. So I want to leave everybody with that. The broke dough. Talking about Mr. Sam Cook broke the dough down. What as you can see, yeah, Mr. Sam Cook tore the dough down. He broke the lock. Knocked the one, throw the chair through. Well, it was wrong what Bertha Franklin did. It was wrong when she did murder. And you ain't gonna get out no murder charge. Talking about Mr. Sanford tore the door down. That's not evidence of his wrong. That's evidence of your wrong. He did not touch you. He did not touch you. He never laid a hand on you. You seen yourself. He walked right past you. Started looking around. You can't murder no man that walked past you. He started getting loud, started hollering, then he grabbed me. Well, we struggled. Well, in the law, if you and Mr. Sanford get into a physical struggle and you resist, that is defending yourself. That is defending yourself. Mr. Sanford was not armed. You can't come up in the law. You can't come up here and try to make other people feel sorry for you by making up all this. There's no reason for me or anybody else to feel sorry for you. Mr. Sam Cook didn't do nothing to you. There was no intent on his part to do anything. He had sex with a woman at a motel, and a woman stole his clothes. Why should I feel sorry for you? Come on now. You can throw all that out the window, man. What you did was wrong. You murdered Mr. Sam Cook in cold blood. See, the way you handled the situation, that's a fault on yours. That's your wrong. See, stop trying to make it sound like you didn't do nothing wrong. You did. You did do something wrong. It was wrong what you did by the way you handled this situation. And you ain't want to admit it. See, you ain't want to admit you're wrong. See, this is something that people do in a courtroom when the defendant, you try to get out of it. This ain't nothing new. You try to get out of it. This ain't nothing new. That's what you did. You try to get out of it. You try to get out of a murder charge by trying to throw it on Mr. Sanford. No. This is wrong what you did. See? This is wrong. What you did was wrong. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites you can go to make anti-gang logo. Now I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. Always put God first. See? Always put God first. Like always give thanks to God for all the blessings and the guidance He provides always. Now, I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. And I'm gonna come back again. And we're gonna stay on Mr. Sam Cook's murder case. And Mr. Sam Cook gonna get justice in the courtroom. He's gonna get justice in the courtroom. Mr. Sam Cook's wife at the time, Miss Barbara Campbell Cook, she entitled to justice. That was her husband. And because of the way the case was handled, it was wrong. And Mr. Sam Cook, the appeals court, the state Supreme Court is there It's not over. Mr. Sam puts two beautiful daughters, Linda and Tracy. That's their daddy. That's their daddy. Their daddy was murdered. He didn't do nothing wrong. There was no reason to kill Mr. Sam because he tore the door down. Okay. Yeah, okay, he got loud. But see, if I get loud and rap, see, you escalate the situation. I'm trying to find this one. Why is it that you don't see? If I'm upset about them, why is it that you can't see that you made it worse? Why you just gonna say, well, okay, sir, you want to sit down and talk about it? Well, can we go back to the more look around and try to deal with him being upset? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just standing there and then gonna provoke Mr. Sam Cook to the point where he get physical with you. Yeah, that's what you wanted him to do. That's what you wanted him to do. Mr. Sam Cook's sister and brother, his mom and dad passed away, and his sister and brother, his niece and their nephew, and his other children and grandchildren. Mr. Sam Cook ain't did nothing to nobody for nobody to pick up no gun, and things escalate to the point where he get murdered. The lives of bones ain't worth all that. See, things ain't supposed to escalate to the point where a street girl, things escalate to the point where Sam Cook get murdered. Come on, man. Things ain't supposed to happen. They ain't supposed to happen. But when you have somebody like Bertha Franklin, see, they ain't how it's supposed to go. They ain't how it's supposed to go, man. Look, on the end of the day, again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county seat of the state of Tennessee. Thank all my family, my support for every team person. Always put God first. Until next time, take care of yourself, wishing you one, baby.